Thank you for receiving this gift. You will see changes not immediately visible may come many weeks or months after. The ripple effect of an intervention of this kind has many positive consequences. Not all of these changes you may perceive as easy. Some of the changes may be seen as too fast. Yet, if you were not ready, we wouldn't be having this interaction. This impact of this intervention is going to be completed between 7 to 10 days. In this time frame, you will refrain from heavy food. You will refrain from sexual encounters. And in this time, you will rest. You will rest and integrate the changes that are happening on your emotional, your mental, your physical, and your spiritual body. This healing cannot be comprehended by the mind. It is beyond the mind. It can only be understood with a deeper knowing inside. The same knowing that brought you here. Greetings, my name is Emmanuel. It is good to see you after this intervention. This may be a lot to take in for you, yet rest assured that all our actions are with the purest intention. Our work through the history of mankind has always been to assist in mankind's evolution. A growth of consciousness that is required. A growth of consciousness that sometimes does not happen by itself. That sometimes requires assistance. We have made this agreement to assist all consciousness in its evolution, including human consciousness. You, as the individual, are the one that is the most capable of initiating change. You, as the individual, are the one that can reach self-realization. This is the blueprint and the birthright you have. To become a fully realized being in this lifetime, in this form. We will assist you on this path, and this intervention is part of that. Yet, it is a path you must walk. It is a path that is taken actively. It is a path that will be seen once one takes a moment to quiet and listen. This path will unfold in front of you. You will see the aspects of your being that require immediate attention will be with you right away. Relations, most importantly, your relation with yourself, and all other relations around you, are merely a reflection of yourself. Aspects that carry tremendous learning and growth, the potential to move you forward on this path of realization. Yet will you embrace the challenges, or will you despise them? Will you push them away? Will you put your emotions, your judgments and opinions aside for a moment to observe your life, to observe all aspects that are unfolding in front of you? How does one live? This life in its full spectrum and potential is perfect the way it is. You may perceive the difficulties of your life as negative, and you may perceive the achievements of your life as positive. We see all aspects of your life as growth. Just this change of perspective will give you distance and a viewpoint of grace for the moments that are with you and ahead of you. You will see that some moments will indeed be easier to manage once this perspective is with you constantly. How can you learn from this moment? How have you co-created this moment? How are you neither the victim nor the villain in your story? The changes ahead of you are accelerating. Our goal is merely to assist humanity in this evolutionary step. It is an important step, not just for the individual or the collective, but for all consciousness, that human consciousness is part of. This awakening process will have many assisted forces, not just us. Some of you already started to feel the changes in the plane, changes in perception of time, changes in perception of relations, and realizations arriving to you much faster than they used to. Thank you for listening to my words. And thank you for receiving this gift of ours, a small token for the path ahead. I will now answer some of your questions. How may I assist you?
Please can you give your perspective on severe mental illnesses such as schizophrenia, psychosis, bipolar disorders? What is the soul lesson in that, and what is a more enlightened way to assist those with those types of illnesses from your perspective, please?
Thank you for your question. Mental illness is part of the experimentation that is part of human consciousness growth. Some souls agree to be part of extended experience that will include the edges of exploration within consciousness in human form. This will sometimes result in achievement of growth within consciousness in human form, and sometimes it will be an important learning and sacrifice of that individual for the experiment of growth itself. This also is an important element of human collective growth. Your involvement in assisting those that have come with complex agreements into human form is noted. Your desire to assist is well perceived. Yet, this is not your journey. The one and most important aspect that you can be is the representation of the unconditional love of creation. You embracing that is the ultimate gift you can give to those around you, including those with complex agreements in human form. Rarely, souls will make agreements with each other to assist each other through difficult times. For these cases, they will be fully aware of this important relationship in lifetime, and they will follow through in assisting each other to complete the learnings of this agreement. Thank you for your question.
What can we do to bring more light into the world?
You are the vessel to hold the light in the first place. Your capacity to hold light and bring it forth is sheer unlimited. Yet it is a path of practice, a path of realization, a path of growth to hold and continue to bring this light forth. The light that we refer to is the unconditional love of creation. This light of creation is available to you at all times. Unconditional, untethered, without limitations. Yet, the vessel is full. When you understand how to be in a way that more capacity can come to you, you will see that your potential to be this vessel of light will increase. And this is the most effective way for you to bring light into this world. Many other ways are independent of your individual being. there are aspects of collective change, a momentum that is only achieved by the congregation, the realization of groups in society. And there are aspects of light that will enter this plane through physical structures and specific places on the world. This will only be relevant to some of you. Yet, these are the ways that light will come forth into this plane. Thank you for your question.
What is the connection between modern technological evolution and evolution of consciousness?
Biological evolution is an important aspect of the physical existence on this plane. Your interaction and your ability to fully experience the human form in the first place. The speed at which biological evolution forms is limited by the environment and the aspects of physicality. The evolution of consciousness, yet, is not limited by these aspects. And as your evolution of consciousness will accelerate, the human form will no longer hold this accelerated form of consciousness. You see, the human form will serve its purpose, and it will complete serving its purpose for your evolution. This plane, including the human form, has been and is the perfect incubation space for consciousness to grow and evolve. You are not the human form. You are allowed to experience human form temporarily, with the effect of human consciousness evolving and growing. Biology has served its purpose and will continue to serve until it no longer can. The evolution of consciousness is part that you have the most influence of. Some aspects of biology have hidden support for the evolution of consciousness. We will not go into the details of this aspect, yet rest assured that the blueprint you have been given has elements that are specifically for this time on this plane, with the change of energy and frequency. Your bodies will adjust in order to manage through this time, so that your consciousness can grow in its accelerated way without outgrowing your physical being. There is no requirement for you to know more details about this, yet you will see that the changes will come, and they will come fast. Thank you for your question.
Emmanuel, how can we connect with you on a daily basis to feel your presence?
Connection to divine sources has been an aspect of human existence for many thousand years. There are many ways for you to connect with higher consciousness like ours. Ways of prayer, ways of quiet, ways of time alone. Many ways humanity has created to connect with the divine, and many ways humanity has created to keep distracted, to keep their vessel full. When the mind and the heart is not quiet, how could you possibly hear us? Those that will make an effort to reach higher levels of consciousness through purification of the mind, purification of the heart and the body, will start to realize the many support that they can receive through higher levels of consciousness. And we consistently observe the beings that are reaching levels of connection with divine forces. And we open communication with them to assist them in their work for humanity. Rest assured that you are divinely supported, even though you may not receive our answers directly. Some aspects of your life, though, you are fully responsible in completing, in learning and growing. And once you do, new aspects of learning will open up for you. And as you master each of these steps, the likelihood of direct communication and collaboration in your assistance for others is much higher. Thank you for your question.
Are we near the critical mass that can bring the shift in consciousness?
Not yet. Critical mass is a much higher number of individuals on the path to realization, and with the probability of achieving self-realization within this lifetime. This is the requirement for achieving the critical mass, for the full consciousness evolution of mankind. Yet, the probability is given, therefore, our assistance with this path. Each of you can be part of this critical mass. Each of you have the seeds planted and nourished. This interaction even is a push in that direction. Thank you for your question.
It's about collective fields, family systems, and our country and land is connected and influenced so deeply by war and depression. How to transform this guilt and pain and depression into power, into peace, into love and happiness. What to do or not to do.
All experiences in human form are perceived as sacred. All experiences that you have created on this plane are part of your growth and part of your awakening. The emotions that are attached to each experience are not necessarily connected to the importance of the experience. You see, something perceived as negative may carry tremendous growth potential for consciousness itself. And every moment, no matter how challenging it is, allows for growth in every step of the way. With this growth, consciousness matures. With the maturity of consciousness, decisions are refined. Perspectives are refined. Judgments and opinions are refined. This refinement will change your steps forward. This is how we perceive the evolution of your consciousness. You learn and you grow, and with each step of the way, as a collective, you will start making better decisions. This is the bigger picture, yet on an individual level, the most important aspect is the focus that you have to find this peace inside, to find harmony within all experiences you have had in this lifetime, to be the peace. This resonance will then carry to all your relations. Fighting to oppose negative experience will not bring you the peace that you are seeking. Embracing the most difficult experiences with compassion and with the love. Of the universe, with the perspective that this life has been given to you as a gift, and that you have chosen to be in this form, to see, experience, learn, and grow, and sometimes impact and influence those around you. With this peace, all situations you will face may be able to be converted into learning and growth almost immediately. This is the power that realized being carries in themselves. Thank you for your question.
How can we assimilate the new energy that's coming into the world?
And the key aspect of understanding energy is that it cannot be possessed, it cannot be accumulated, it cannot be collected. You are merely vessels that this energy will flow through. The only way you can assimilate to this environmental change is to become more in flow of your vessel. This will be in the ways your physical body, your emotional body, and your mental construct is able to adjust to changes. Energy will merely flow through you, no matter how strong it is in the first place. Yet all aspects that you have created in your mind, constructs, emotional aspects you are holding on to, as well as the residue of living in the physical form, will be barriers for this energy to flow, and you will feel the barriers of this energy, often recognized as pain. This also is an element of realization. Our recommendation is for you to focus on finding the flow of energy in your system through many ways that resonate with you. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your question.
How can we guide our children on their path to their consciousness without reflecting too much of ourselves on them?
Parenthood is a gift to you as well as the soul that has chosen to be with you. You have agreed to be the guardian for this being in the time frame that it has decided to be with you. This being has chosen specifically your environment to grow. In this environment, there is nothing you could possibly do wrong, as this is the agreement between the two of you. All your actions are aspects of this relation, including those that are your projections, including those that are your emotions and judgments, through which this new being will also learn and grow. Most importantly, understanding that this new being is not yours. It is the child of the collective. It is an aspect of human consciousness, having a human experience. You are the guardian for a period of time, and you may affect this being in the most beautiful ways. Through being the closest that you can to unconditional love. Its consciousness, as well as the container that it has arrived in, is already much more complex than you could possibly fathom or adjust to. Therefore, the best recommendation we have for you is to be flexible and to embrace the greatness that has arrived in your life. Thank you for being the steward of a new soul. And thank you for your question.
Look for and gratitude.
Please repeat.
Growth, look for and gratitude. Why do we need to grow and why should we want to grow? When we get
This is an essential question of all existence, including creation itself, and this divine existence before our existence, all aspects of creation grow and expand. All consciousness grows. It is impossible to not. The question is, will this growth happen with grace? Will this growth expand in its natural pace? Within the growth of all existence, some consciousness will achieve a level of maturity. This level of maturity, this growth of consciousness in itself, fuels consciousness of all existence that we refer to as grand consciousness. We are all part of this same consciousness, including ourselves. Even if you do not consciously participate, you are part of this flow, just like all elements within this expansion. Understanding or consciously acting on behalf of this growth will not make a difference. The only recommendation we have is to observe the growth and observe if the growth inside is aligned with the growth outside. Thank you for your question. This time has been important for us to deliver this work we have for humanity, this love we carry and we have carried for you as individuals, for you as consciousness and collective. Our love and support has always been unconditional. The importance that humanity's evolution carries is beyond our own interest. An evolutionary step that you individually will experience. A gift to be in this very time of change, in this very form that you have chosen. Thank you for receiving this time and this gift of ours. May you be blessed on this journey.
Cecile takes his time to come back to us. It's a good move just to go within and just focus on